when you're early to a social media protocol, not only do you get the general benefits of being an early adopter, being able to become a power user of this protocol before the masses come in, but as the network grows, as that network effect takes hold, you benefit from that network effect. As the network grows, your following grows in proportion, perhaps not direct proportion, but close to that network growth. That is incredibly powerful, and that is only possible to the extent that you have the ability, like you're not just benefiting from one application's growth, like on Twitter. You're benefiting from the entire ecosystem. Everything that is being built on Nostr is in service of the user. You are the user. And if you are a user who is also creating, all the tools that are being built, those are in service of you, right? And as the number of users on that network grows, you then are able to capture that network growth that is happening organically around you, and that benefits you. And I think that's incredibly compelling. Again, put the censorship resistance, put the permissionless, decentralized, put all of that aside. We think that's great. Sure, most people, they don't give a fuck. But you are able to ultimately grow a following that you can take with you anywhere, and all you need is your npub. And your following will grow in proportion to the growth of the network, of the protocol growth. You are benefiting from the network effect of a decentralized open source protocol that can't be shut down. That is incredibly powerful. So even if you don't care about censorship resistance and permissionless and all of that, but you might care about growing your following. And that's something you can do like none other on Nostr because of the structure of an open protocol. And I think that's incredibly powerful, and it should be incredibly compelling to content creators out there. Again, anyone can be a content creator. You're a content creator if you're just publishing your thoughts. If you're just saying, here's my breakfast, #Foodster. You're a content creator too. That's the beauty of having all of this technology in our pockets. And I don't know, I think that's a beautiful thing, and it's a powerful thing. And I think that is what is ultimately, the more people that pick up on that as content creators, I think it's a well-kept secret right now, but not for long. People are going to realize that. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and in this space, you're not going to have a YouTube telling you that other feeds that you might be or authors that you might be competing with get the premium spot on people's feeds instead of you. There's no centralized determination of who gets to see what. Every user, they might use an algorithm for this, they might not. Their client might offer, it might not. It's just so diverse that you can't really be based on, I need to just please YouTube to get it to the top spot so that I can actually be the person I'm trying to be as a creator. The fact that the data is virtually open, that anyone can access, that is not centralized behind the doors of, say, Google, it means that this ecosystem of tools has to develop without considering ownership of the data in mind. Meaning, anything that they do to make sure there is a differentiator from them to any other application has to be based on anything but the data, which is kind of the opposite that has been happening for the past 20 years, right? Facebook, Google, Instagram, what do they have? They have data. And they just so happens to also do a little bit of UI work here and there, right? That is minimally acceptable for us to give them the data they want. Now in Nostr, that is not there. You can't own people's data. It doesn't work like that. Even if you were a relay operator, people can just move to another relay. It doesn't really work in the way people usually think in the traditional sense. So in a sense, say capitalism will push these apps and these clients forward on the way we want by competing with each other on the best features, the best UI, the best experience, instead of what we don't want, just isolating themselves and the data they capture out from everybody else. That will never happen in Nostr. So you go into this ecosystem, if you believe on this, if you're a creator that minimally understands how this works, like this makes a lot of sense. The only barrier that you would not join Nostr right now is because the other platforms have more users and they can use that as leverage today. But that's not going to be the case in many years. So it's early. We are still developing many things that we have today. But those who are starting to get their followers already on Nostr are taking a significant advantage over everybody else because they're going to grow faster. And we all know how network effects happen. It just so happens that on Nostr, the network effects themselves are owned by the creator. They are not owned by YouTube and Google and so on, in the sense that the creator controls what to do with the followers. The creator controls where to take them into multiple relays, multiple different communities, multiple different apps that do different things, that do have slightly different communities that can serve different people within their user base slightly better. They can build cities inside Nostr. They can build just YouTube streams inside Nostr. They can do educational content, and they can have another community for more entertainment content. So it's a thing that if creators usually understand this really well when they start to grow, if you do have your power over your network effects, you are the voice that matters. You are the voice that gets to decide a few things just because you are bigger than everybody else. And hopefully the initial creators we get are also so aligned with this idea of decentralization, privacy, and self-custodial systems that they defend those three flags with all of their users. And we just get to see a massive growth of that user base over time.
Amen. And I may not be the scale of Joe Rogan, but from this humble creator, I can say that I do defend those principles because that does genuinely matter to me, even if it may not matter to the multitude of other creators who will come on here. But I've found it as a content creator, in the actual authentic engagement that you get on Nostr is so much better than what you get on any centralized platform. Like, people actually want to have a conversation is what that's the biggest thing you notice. People actually want to engage. It's not just posting a comment under some big account because you want to suck some of their energy out, get some of their followers, to like your comment, maybe follow you, subscribe to you, whatever. No. It's not that. It's that people have genuine questions. They have genuine feedback. And it's also, there is a genuine, the value for value model. While I think it's still very much in its early stages, and it's amazing that you're doing that with Amethyst from the development side. And I also think that it's something for content creators. It actually encourages you to be your most authentic self, because people don't want to zap inauthentic bullshit. They want to zap things that are from the heart, that are said from a place of truth, not a place of lies. They want to zap things that make them feel good. If you implemented zaps tomorrow on Twitter, on X, I'll never get Twitter out of my head. If you implemented zaps tomorrow,
by the
brand. But if you did this tomorrow on X, it would be so interesting to see all of the rage bait, all of the doom porn, all of the just negativity that gets so much engagement on there. I don't think it would get a lot of zaps. I don't think it would get a lot of actual real world monetary value sent to it. That kind of engagement bait only works because it's an advertising first model. And if you take that away and you make it to a value for value model, value becomes that algorithm. Value becomes the signal. And people they don't really want to send you money when you made them feel like shit, turns out. Who knew? Shocking.
Yeah.